Hello, everybody. Welcome back and happy Sunday, and welcome back to Fem Tarot. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium and energy reader and healer. How is everybody doing this glorious, beautiful summer Sunday, the first Sunday of August? Leo season and Leo season is here. We're just a breath away from Lionsgate on the 8th. A lot of things happening. August is going to be another energetically charged month. So a lot of things are going on right now in everywhere. Basically, I was thinking in the news, in the world, in pop culture, in the courts, in just everywhere. There's just so many things going on. I cannot keep up with everything. And for that reason, today, I thought we haven't done a royal reading in a while. Well, if you call the Sussexes royals, let's call them demi-royals, okay? So I thought, yeah, let's do a little check-in. I do believe that people are losing interest in them. I mean, prime example of this comment. I love the fact that MK just wrote her feelings, just typed out her feelings, dropped them in the chat before the live started. And we don't know where MK Higgins is right now. Just they needed to share their opinion about the Sussexes. Oh Lord. Hello, beautiful Isa. Hello, everybody. Show some love to the mods. They're always here helping me immensely by moderating these lives. Happy Sunday to you, Tracy. Hope you're doing well. I keep stumbling on my own words. It's one of those days. Happy Sunday to you too, Asa. Isa and Asa, you're both you're in Northern Europe. So how's the weather over there? Is it warm? Are you enjoying summer? Norway and Sweden. Asa is in Norway. Isa is in Sweden. And you guys, I've told you, Isa, and also that I have a soft spot for Scandinavia in general. I've been to Denmark, absolutely fell in love, and I was convinced, and I am convinced I was a Viking in one of my past lives. I cannot explain, because as soon as I landed in Copenhagen, I was like, oh, I'm home. I wasn't expecting it, because as you guys know, I'm an islander. I'm a summer girl. I'm someone who loves the summer all year round. So yeah, but I absolutely love the Scandinavian countries and culture. Hello. Ness is in the house as well. Allison, hola, Allison. Thank heavens today the tech is working. Let's not jinx it. Bananas astrology for this year's Lionsgate, great day for manifesting. Bananas astrology, is that a typo, or is that a new term that I'm not aware of? The room is Harry. Okay, we'll get to the questions. I'm going to just highlight this one and we'll get to that, because we always, as per usual, we always say hello. This is the day that we get together as Femme Village. It is our Sunday hangout. So we always wait for our Femme Villagers to enter the room before we start. Hello to you too, beautiful Carrie. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. There you go. Thank you, Ness, for thanking the mods. Thank you so much. Hey, girl. How are you? Hope you're having a great weekend, Rosie. Hope you're out hiking, surfing, doing all the beautiful, nice stuff. Hello. Thank you, Tech Checker. Thank God. Today's working. Everything's working. Okay, I don't want to jinx it, but I'm happy and nice. I'm relaxed. If the tech is working, I'm nice and relaxed. I don't have to think about it. All right. And my hair, of course, but I can't do anything about my hair in summer, especially here. I have a small fan, but it's hot. So my hair, I have frizzy hair, puffy hair, a lot of hair, dry hair. So I love like at the beginning of these videos, these lives, my hair looks good because I usually wash it or I do something with it before I come on. And then by the end, it's just gone fluffy. It's just, all over the place. First world problems, I guess. Yeah. Oh, sorry, also, you're in Sweden for whatever reason. I thought you were in Norway. But rainy and more chilly now. I do believe there is a cold weather front or a cold and wet weather front coming central and northern Europe this week, from what I heard. It's great for us because it will cool down a little bit. We need it. So yeah. Weather's been very warm in Sweden for a few weeks. Now it's colder and more rain, which is a good little break from the heat, right? That's the issue that we have well, not for me, but for a lot of people, because in Greece it gets very, very hot for months. So it's usually starts getting super hot in May and until the end of October, it's super hot. Well, at least in October it rains here and there, but it can be that like June, July, August, there's no rain whatsoever in Greece. So everything's super dry and hot. So for people who cannot tolerate the heat, that can be a lot. Oh, you meant it as an expression, bananas. Okay. So I thought it was a typo. I get it now. That's the thing about texting and writing. Sometimes, you can misinterpret or miss the context of what is being said. Thank you. My hair is working. Well, it's working now, Val, until the end of this, where you're going to see it transform into something else. Usually, oh, I don't have my hair tie here, but it doesn't matter. All right. Thank you all about my hair. Thank you. Usually I just have to straighten it as well. So what I do is I do have a Dyson. By the way, a Dyson is okay, sidebar. Okay, and then we'll get to the juicy stuff. But I got the sidebar. I got the Dyson a couple of years ago because I thought, it's a one tool that does a lot. You can curl your hair, you can straighten it, you can blow dry it, you can do whatever you want with it. But I wasn't sure how it was going to work on my frizzy, dry hair because it does dry out your hair, just so you know. But after 2 years, yes, after 2 years and 1,000 tutorials and that I've watched, finally I've figured out which part of the Dyson works on my hair, what like heat I should use it, everything. So if you have a Dyson and you're kind of like disappointed in the Dyson, give it a chance. This was me. I was like, oh my God, all that money for this thing. And it's just, it made my hair puffy and drier, but I figured it out. So yeah. So usually you just use the dye. I used to like, just blow dry it and then straighten it, but straighteners are not good. Your hair looks amazing the first day as soon as you straighten your hair, and then the next day just looks heavy and sort of like, at least my hair, right? Because my hair is special. I got my hair special, especially when I go to Mauritius and it's super humid there. I get the African hair. I do. And it's funny because our neighbor who is from Africa, she keeps giving me these like amazing butters and amazing things to put in my hair. Nothing works. Nothing works. Anyways, so today we're going to be looking into and reading the Sussexes, and more so, or well, there's so many things happening right now for the Sussexes, but separately. And I do want to look at the Sussexes like separately as well as together if you guys want, because it seems that, and this is something that I've been saying for a long time, that I don't see them. I've never, for at least for the last couple of years, I did not, every time I read the Sussexes, I did not see them as a couple. It doesn't seem that they're physical, intimate, or even that they're living together. It seems that it's like they're getting together to do these photo ops or these promotions of their businesses and whatever they are promoting. and then they're off doing their own thing. And we're seeing this more and more now, because we're not seeing articles or, social media posts or stuff about both of them anymore. It's more Meghan separating herself from Harry. And it's definitely Meghan who wants to separate herself and has separated herself. When I mean separate herself, I mean when it comes to business, to their brand, social events and stuff like that. So so Meghan's been taking on more of the role of Betty Crocker, Martha Stewart, whatever she wants to. She's trying to emulate right now. She doesn't even know, because what we know, the latest news is that, and we're not surprised because this is something that we saw in a past reading, I believe last year, that Netflix just dropped out of their deal, of the Netflix deal. They no longer want to, fund or support or give the Sussexes a platform, because they're, what was it called? Was it With Love Meghan, or was it As Ever Meghan? No, As Ever is her merch, let's say her business, right? But it was called With Love Meghan, right? It was called With Love Meghan. That didn't do great. I mean, the first 2 episodes were the only ones that seemed to have garnered quite a bit of viewership, but I believe this was because a lot of people either wanted to troll her, hate watch, or out of curiosity as well, but it didn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere. Neither did Harry's polo documentary. That flunked. I think it was like, I should have brought it up. I should have, but I didn't. Is like so Netflix released the shows and how they're categorized and their viewership and how they went. And, the polo was pretty much at the bottom. With Love, Meghan was, I don't know, 300, in the place 300. I'm not sure. I should have checked. Sorry. But if you guys know better than I do, I haven't been paying that close attention to the Sussexes anymore, because I'm so over them. I've had fatigue, because it's the same old, same old, same old. But the reason why I want to do this reading today is because I do feel that we're hitting a spot now, or they, as Sussexes, are hitting a spot now where a huge, they're entering a very transitional phase in their personal lives and their careers. Do they have careers? In their work, anyways. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I don't know with them. What are they? Who are they? What do they want to, how do they want us to see them? It's just so confusing. And who is Meghan? Like, I've talked about this before. She's so inauthentic, which is why people are having a hard time liking her, accepting her. When I mean accepting her, when she got engaged to Prince Harry, let me tell you, a lot of people, especially in the UK, were excited. They were excited. They were like, wow, this is so out of the box, for the royal family. This is amazing. This is literally modernizing the royal family. This is a new chapter for the royal family. And everyone was happy for Harry, because he was like, he was the playboy, bachelor, and everyone was like, who is he going to end up getting married? Who is he going to get married? Is he going to have children? Harry was the younger Windsor boy, who was also the naughty one, but he was also the most traumatized from his mother's death. And when he met Meghan, everyone was cheering for them. And for Harry, especially, it was incredible, but it all crashed down soon after. And let me tell you, when I watched that interview, the what's called the engagement interview, something was so off about it, including the wedding, including the energy. And I watched it because I watched William and Kate's, and my mom had a videotape, and my grandma, because they loved Princess Diana, of the marriage of Prince. Back then he was Prince Charles and Princess Diana. So I very much was into this, but it felt off. The engagement interview, I was like, huh? Why is she performing, and why is she performing so badly? But you know what? You kind of push it away and you're like, could be nerves. But then again, she was an actress and she was acting at Suits. So she has done these junkets. She's done junkets and she's done interviews and she's done events. So maybe because this was a prince, who knows? Back then I was like really trying to understand her. But in time, anyone who uses discernment or just generally is intuitive or an empath started picking up like something was off about Meghan. And the proof is in the pudding now, unfortunately, which is why people have had fatigue, because it's like, how many times are you going to reinvent yourself? How many times are you going to whine about the royal family? How many times are you going to pull the race card? How many times are you going to act as if you're all coy and, I want my privacy and I'm this princess in her mind. I'm this princess and do. And I want everyone to look up to me and follow what I do and be influenced by me. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. But she refuses to accept it. And now Meghan, and we'll talk about Harry too. Meghan has, in my own personal opinion, let me just, you never know. Because usually when I do these videos, you guys, all of the Sussex squad trolls come out of the woodwork and they just leave like really mean, bad comments. All right. I'm okay. I can take it. But the thing is, it's they're trying to silence other people who have opposing opinions to them, and they're trying to silence them by attacking and being mean. That's not how it works, people. If you have a great argument, you can have arguments like civil, very kind, very eloquent arguments about why you disagree with someone, but I don't see any good arguments coming from them. It's the race card. It's always the race card. It's not about the race. One of the reasons why the UK was so excited about welcoming Meghan in the royal family was because of her race, was because she was mixed race. But it's not the reason why people hate her. Facts. It's not the reason why people hate her. Just like with Blake Lively. It's why are people hating on Blake Lively? It's not because she, in my opinion, wrongly accused Justin Baldoni for SH. It's not only because she subpoenaed third party. She sent out third party subpoenas and went after small content creators to silence them and bankrupt them. People who don't like Blake Lively, including myself, we don't like her because of, we can see you. Amber Heard too. We can see you. We can see the act. We can see behind the act. We can see that you're not being authentic. You're not being who you are. At the end of the day, you can be who you are and be loved. Okay. There's room for everyone. How many times have you guys stumbled on a TikTok or YouTube channel where the host or whoever is talking, you're like, who's watching this? who the hell is watching this? This is really off, or this is weird. And then you check like the comments or the subs or the likes, and you're like, thousands of them. Or you're like, well, there's room for everyone here. So there you go. Okay, Anna is saying the chat is disabled. On my computer, but not my phone. Weird. That's really weird. Is anyone else having the same issue? Hey Brandon. Have a great weekend too. First time. Hey KC, welcome to the Femme Village and our Sunday hangout. To make NCO was a storyteller under the auspices of the Music Center. We'd go into school to do workshops, sent to Immaculate Heart to work with all girl students. Wow, because Meghan went to Immaculate Heart to the school as well. Yeah, we've seen this. I've talked about this in the past, that the divorce is imminent. They're not together, okay? They're not together as a couple. They're together as business partners. And when is the divorce going to come out? Well, we'll pull cards in a minute, but we're already seeing articles and leaks out there that Harry said he's opened up his schedule and that he wants to be part of the royal family and take on some of his royal duties that he completely left, never looked back. When was Megxit? 4 or 5 years ago? Wow, when did time go? So we can see that Harry is trying to mend the bridge, okay? And it seems that the royal, although William, I know William is not happy about this. William is not going to accept Harry back to the family or the UK or be warm to him or talk to him unless Harry files for divorce and leaves his wife. I'm telling you, every time I read William, Harry, Meghan, this is what comes up. William is not very forgiving right now. He's a Cancer. They do hold a grudge, just saying. So, oh wait, let's continue Norma's story. So Meghan was a student there. Oh, so that was around the time. Okay, interesting. I asked the students to act out the stories that I presented. She stroked out as being very eager to be seen, very pushy. Isn't that what her sister called her? Didn't her sister come out with a book called The Diaries of Princess Pushy or something like this? She announced, I'm going to be an actress. I remember her so clearly because of the way she pushed her way to gain my attention. Seems nothing has changed. And nothing has changed, Norma. Apparently, nothing has changed. Actually, I wanted to tell you guys this. Someone reached out to me months ago on a DM, and this person said, I knew Meghan back in the day at Sacred Heart. And she's like, she was a mean girl. She wanted all the attention to be on her, and she would bully and treat like the nerds really badly. She had an attitude, very entitled. She had her own clique. She was mean. That person sent me that, and because that person sent me that DM because they wanted to tell me how it was a reading on Meghan, and I was reading her energy and everything. She wanted to tell me how spot on I am and how nothing's changed. But Norma's saying nothing's changed since. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, this retrograde, we have a double retrograde because we have Saturn as well, is not an easy one. Is not an easy one whatsoever. Okay, Anna got into the chat. Great. Yeah, it's crazy. You guys officially retro. So Mercury stations and starts going back direct on the 11th, but always remember that there is that shadow period, and usually the shadow period is the most potent period, and things go awry during shadow period. So we're out of the woods after the 15th of August. Okay, just a reminder to everyone. So we have another 2 weeks to go of this mess. Which is why I remember, do you know about the pushy princess comment? Yeah, this is what her sister Samantha calls her. And I believe she came out with a book called The Diaries of Princess Pushy, or something along those lines. But spot on with a pushy comment as well, according to everyone, and according to me as well, how I've read her energy. So what's next? Let's start with Meghan. Okay. So what's next for her? Because right now it seems like As Ever has been a flop too. She came out with wine, which I thought that was so random. But then again, with wine, maybe it's easier to find white labels. Okay. Or it could be the licensing. But here's the thing. I believe she was able to start As Ever and sell the jams. And what else was she selling, or is she selling? I'm saying was because that's not going to last long. The jam, the, what is it, tea, the wine, and the rose petals, and I don't know what other sprinkles, whatever it is that she's selling. But from my understanding, and this is also my intuition, and then it kind of like clicked, I believe that she was able to start As Ever because of her contract with Netflix, because there was a video that this was when As Ever launched, where she said something along the lines of, I'm partnering, or I partnered with Netflix and I'm doing this with Netflix. So it seems that maybe Netflix helped her or funded As Ever. So I don't know how this is going to go now. How is this going to go now? Because I think they started the shop, As Ever shop, in order for them to make obviously more money when With Love Meghan was released. So it was like a sort of like a joint venture tandem thing. But if there's no show and Meghan is out of stock right now, what is she going to sell? What is she going to sell? And the wine was sold to me. The wine was just a stupid idea. My opinion, as a marketer, if you will. Stupid idea. She could have done something else. Like, you know what I would do as Meghan, because she wants to come off as this like powerhouse, this all about women and empowering women. This is what she says in public. This is the image. But in reality, we know that she's not a girl's girl whatsoever. So that's hypocrisy, to say the least. But she could have done some kind of I don't know, she would have made quite a bit of money and actually elevate her brand if she did some kind of retreat, let's say. She could have merch there or have products to sell during the retreat. But why not do a retreat? Her fans, her diehard fans, would definitely pay a lot of money to go to the retreats and meet her. And she would be center stage, and she could talk to them and do like a TED thing. I mean, that would be an idea, right? She could collaborate with hotels and resorts and make this into a huge business. But obviously she doesn't listen to anyone but her own little ego. People never got their jams. Were sending. Yeah, I know. It was a complete disaster. Absolutely. And they said they were out of stock. It wasn't that they sold out. They had very, very small stock. They didn't have a lot of. That's a marketing thing. Okay. You launch, you want to create hype around it. Obviously people are going to buy, but it's not like she had thousands and thousands of jams and cookies and sprinkles and wines in stock. Okay, she had limited stock. Also, don't tell me that. Because you know what? I think the last reading I did on Meghan was actually on her birthday last year. Because someone came on someone came on the chat and they're like, well, because it wasn't a very favorable reading, I have to say. And they were like, well, She's not going to be happy. She's not going to be happy about this. It's her birthday today. I was like, oops, that was not deliberate. That was not deliberate. So tomorrow's the 4th. Yeah, it's the 4th. Oh my God. All right. So we have some questions here. No, let me just, before I get to Nessa's question, let me pull some cards on. First of all, I'm going to look at her energy now. What is going on now? How is she feeling now? Okay, I just heard she's about. Okay, my guide showed me, you guys, that she's about to launch something new again. She's about to drop a bombshell, something new, yet another enterprise venture, whatever is about to drop. Okay. I don't know if it's going to be now around her birthday, but that's what my guide showed me. And before I go on, before I forget, don't forget, you guys, to like this video as you enter or as you exit, and do subscribe if you're new here. And also, I highly recommend you guys to follow me on social media. There's so many of you who follow me on YouTube, but quite a few of you, well, not as many, I want to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I spent the whole day in the pool under the sun. I think I'm a little bit sunstroked. I needed a little bit of vitamin C. So not many of you, or not all of you, are following me on social media, and please do. Please do. Okay. Ness is asking clothing. Also, Ness is saying I was rooting for her cooking show to succeed, but too late. I agree. It was 5 to 7 years too late. I agree with you. You were surprised by her inauthenticity? Okay, I wasn't. I was like, yeah, but I see what you mean. Okay, let's read Meghan and her energy. Okay, show me Meghan Markle. Show me Meghan. What's going on right now? What place? Yes, she's definitely. So I had a jumper card. I will show you in a second. Give me a minute while I pull the cards. The wheel, I'll show you. Told you. Yep, another business venture. Okay, I'm going to show you the cards because I don't want anyone saying that I'm coming up with this crap, because I've had some comments. People are like, do you make things up? Or you're way too opinionated and you don't do your, this is my channel. This is how things work here. Yes, I have my opinions, but being a psychic and someone who picks up on energy very, very easily and on the daily, I gather all that information and all the insights and everything, and I share them with you. Okay. And then I will pull some cards, and the cards pretty much say the same thing as I'm saying. So, all right. So, I'll get to the jumper card at the end. Okay, I'll show you the jumper card at the end. These are the 3 cards that I pulled. What's her energy now? Show me, Meghan, right now what's going on. The wheel, changing things. A bit of a panic, in my opinion. Bit of a panic. Okay, I've got to find something else to do. Because if I have nothing else to do, A, we're running out of money, and B, I'm not going to be in the limelight. People are not going to talk about me, whether positive or negative. She's at that point now where she's like, even negative, the negativity and the negative comments, she'll take them, even though she has very thin skin. She's going to take it. Why? Because she knows right now where she's at and that she's irrelevant. People have been fatigued by them, that any type of attention is good attention. So the wheel, also changing things, like rebrand, come up with new ideas, do things differently. Maybe I shouldn't be called what was it? What was it that she told? What's her name now? Mindy Kaling. She called her Sussex or something like that. And she said, well, I'm messing it up. Sorry, but you know what I mean, where she told off Mindy Kaling about calling her Meghan. Basically, she wants to be called Duchess or Princess or whatever. She wants titles. She likes the titles. That's the bottom line. Now, so this is the wheel. Wheels are turning. bit of a panic. Things are moving, trying to figure out where the needle is going to land. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is the entrepreneur, it's the businesswoman wanting to make money, focused on money, focused on work, on business. Okay. So this is what's happening now. She's like, okay, we've got to launch this new project or this new business. It's got to happen, and I'm sure they're gonna like this one because this is different. I don't know. I don't think Ness. It's was it you, Ness, that said clothing line? I don't feel it's a clothing line. I wouldn't be surprised to you guys. I mean, I'm just telling you what I'm getting, okay? Psychically, intuitively. I wouldn't be surprised if she comes up with like a line of like tableware. You know how Christian Dior has these amazing, their Hermes have these what are they called? Like the plates and the cutlery and the glasses and the cups and the teacups and the sets and all of that. I wouldn't be surprised if she comes up with something along those lines. Yeah, plates and dishes and, tableware and l'art de la table. So like tablescapes, like focusing on tablescapes and stuff like that. But let me show you the third card before I get to the jumper card. And this is the future card. So this is current energy, okay? This is where the energy is heading. And this is where the energy is leading. And it is the Tower card. So that is going to be another big friggin' flop. It's going to be a Sussex flop, a Markle flop. She's marketing herself now. This is what's happening. King of Cups. This is Harry. This is Harry, and he comes up as a jumper card. So poor Harry is funding all these ideas and all these experiments, all of these hobbies, passion projects. I don't know what to call them because you cannot call them businesses because she starts something and then 6 months later she drops it and starts something new. This has been going on for a very long time. Poor Harry has been funding it. He's not happy, King of Cups, but, and I've said this before, he's under her friggin' spell. This guy is miserable with his life, with his wife, with not talking to his family, feeling like an outcast. He doesn't even feel like, whenever I connect to Harry's energy, I don't feel that he feels, I don't care what he says and what his PR or their PR team puts out in articles and stuff like that. But he's not happy in Montecito, and I don't believe they live in Montecito, or at least not the house that they claim that they live in. So he's not happy right now with his life, And this is for Harry. This is for Harry because he's just funding it, and he goes along with whatever she wants, but not necessarily, he doesn't necessarily support it 100%, if you know what I mean. Okay. So let me pull a few more cards around Meghan. 6 of Wands, Page of Wands. Okay, it's interesting. I wanted to bring this up. Let me show you the cards though, because I want to bring up the kids. I don't read her kids. I'm not going to open the discussion about her kids, but I find it very interesting because I saw on X, yes, I'm back on X. Well, I was never on X. I was on Twitter. And then when Elon bought X, I left Twitter. And I wasn't even that active. I wasn't even posting or anything. I just had it just to check certain, Twitter users that I like to follow. But bottom line is that I saw on X that pictures were leaked, but they weren't, because they were paparazzi. I believe they were Backrid, her go-to paparazzi, of them being on the beach for some kind of surfing thing for the kids, surfing event for the kids. And alas, We saw Archie. We saw Archie. For a minute, I was about to call him George. Oh, no, Archie. And it's interesting because we're now seeing, because the whole branding and the way Meghan wanted to make it all about Meghan, forget about Harry. We push him to the side. How about the kids? Oh, no, we don't take the kids anywhere with us. All about privacy. We want to keep our kids private. I respect that as a parent. Okay. I keep my kids private too. And I'm not married to a prince. But the way she does it, it almost feels like cat and mouse. It almost feels like she's doing it to taunt people because of all the rumors. Did she have kids? Are these kids her? Are they rent-a-kids? Did she use a surrogate? You know, was she wearing a moon bump? All of these things. So she knows what she's doing. She likes to taunt and tease and get people riled up and talk about it. And the reason why I bring up the kids, I'll show you now the cards, the 3 other cards that I picked up. So 6 of Wands. When it comes to her business, this comes underneath her business, right? Her business ventures, her business. She is business minded, but she's kind of stuck in a time warp, in my opinion. And also she's too stubborn to listen and accept sound professional advice. Okay. Because she lives in her own little bubble. And Meghan knows best, according to her. So the 6 of Wands was underneath the Queen of Pentacles, which to me indicates that's going to flop. We see that, okay? Unfortunately, she has the anti-Midas touch. The anti-Midas touch. Everything she touches turns to coal and not to gold. Call me a hater, but that's the truth. I just speak the truth. So she's going to come out and she's going, this is the most wonderful, innovative idea. This is amazing. So for a while, we're going to get a lot of PR and articles saying, how amazing and how progressive and how innovative Meghan is. And look at this new project, and all the Sussex fan squads are going to buy whatever she sells, you know? So she's going to come out and see, she's going to find an excuse to say, to not admit that her business that as ever flopped. So she might use it and say, you know, and now we have tablescapes and these amazing plates and blah, blah, blah. And they're all connected to a sever. And I don't know, she's going to come up with something. And the reason why I brought up the kids is because of, again, this Meghan fatigue that we're having, and people are just not buying what she's selling anymore, whether it is her products or whether it's the BS that comes out of her mouth. Okay. So now she's going to tease us with the kids, meaning leaks, just like the ones that I saw next, where you don't see, it's like a short little video and you see Archie rolling in the sand. So you don't really, unless you freeze frame, you don't really see him. So she's going to play that game. She's going to play that game with the kids, because that's what everyone's mostly interested in, the kids. Because people are talking about the kids, the moon bumps, the twerking, the ridiculous twerking pre-labor video that she released a few months ago. It was for Mother's Day or for Lily's birthday. So, and she knows that garners attention, and it garners haters and lovers and all of it, and supporters and all of it. So we're going to be seeing more of the kids, but not really seeing them like officially, but yes. So she's going to garner attention through the kids. Trust me, it's coming. And I'll get your questions in a second. And then I have the Knight of Cups here. Let me see what that means real quick. Nine of Cups, a lot of cups. She's very emotional right now. When I mean emotional, like she's not doing great right now. Also, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Every time I read Meghan, and not Meghan and Harry as a couple, but just Meghan, I keep seeing another man around her. I've said this. Here he is. And this is someone who seems to, I feel like this is someone who has money, who has status, prestige, and for the moment is at her beck and call. So he's kind of like enchanted by her too. Harry's under her spell. He's more enchanted by her with this 9 of Cups here. And she's using this man to get what she wants. I believe he's the one open. I don't know. He's holding a cup. Oh, I have a hair here. He's holding a cup. And to me, I feel that maybe he's the one who came up with a wine idea and the wine connection. Just, put her in touch with some kind of wine producer who produces like these white label wines or sold licenses to her. But there is a guy there in the scene, behind the scenes actually, helping her. Connections with abroad. You know what I've said in one of my past readings about Meghan? This was 2, maybe even 3 years ago. Someone asked me about, is Meghan cheating on him, or, who's going to be the next guy? Because when Meghan's just done with Harry, there's nothing else that she can like suck out of him. Who's going to be the next guy? And funnily enough, I saw someone from overseas, and I heard my guide say someone who has connections with Saudi Arabia. And this card came up, and this is the card this is a card that's connected to overseas and overseas travels, which is interesting that it comes up now. Yeah, King of Pentacles. Meghan, you kind of, you know what? You're smart. You know how to wrap these men around your little finger. You know exactly what to give these men or tell these men in order for them to cater to your needs, Meghan. This is what I'm seeing. Yeah, but Meghan is, because I'm reading her current energy, 7 of Wands is, listen, Meghan is not happy with how things turned out. She's also very much alienated herself from a lot of these people that she considered close friends. Maybe Tyler Perry is one of them. Tyler Perry is in a little bit of hot water right now. And she's not going to stick around to find out whether he's done all that or not. She doesn't want to tarnish her name, her reputation even further than it already is tarnished. So she's kind of like, right now, it feels to me like she's making new friends. Like she's socializing in different circles, trying to make friends from different circles, if you know what I mean. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Meghan is someone who's always got money, power, money, and status in her mind. An Ace of Pentacles, I'm telling you, she's going to drop a new, and it's going to be short-lived. It's going to be short-lived. Yeah. It's crazy. The world. She wants to be center stage. She's losing that. It's going to take a few more years until Meghan, and it's going to happen, and you heard it here first, that it's going to take a few years until Meghan completely just disappears. People just stop talking about her, especially after the divorce. And I want to tell you what I'm getting, and I'll get to your questions, and then I'll get to Harry. But I do want to share you what I feel intuitively. I do feel that how this is all going to unfold with the divorce, it's not like they're going to come out with some kind of press release or some kind of social media post where they're like, we're really, after all these years and after having these two beautiful children, we've decided to part ways and blah, blah. They're not going to do this whole, announcement thing. How they're going to kind of announce, not kind of, but how they're going to handle the divorce is that we're going to be seeing Harry more, visiting the UK more, being more accepted within the family. So we're going to see articles. Harry spent time with his friend Chippy, okay, that they used to go to university with, and they were seen at a pub. And Harry visited Kate and brought chocolate for the kids. So we're going to start seeing these types of stories leaking. All right, Harry's back with the family, and look how Harry is, and he's reconnecting to his old pals and his family. And we're going to be seeing we're seeing it already. So a separation between those two. And then we're going to see Harry taking on his royal duties. So they're going to give him some stuff to do, or he's going to try to make himself a little bit busy. And so it's sort of like just easing things in, and normalizing that Harry's back in the UK, Harry's back with his family, Harry's back in his royal duties. So it's going to take months before they actually, and then I am 100% sure, and you heard it here first. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay. That Meghan, despite what they agree during the divorce procedures, she's going to come out and do an exclusive, some kind of, I don't know, New York Times or Variety or whatever, whichever, or People loves her. So maybe it's going to be with People. Who knows? People magazine. But she's going to come out and do with an exclusive interview announcing her divorce. You heard it here first. Just saying. And that's how it's going to play out. But it's going to take a while. It's not going to happen like this. Even if they have already signed papers, NDAs, all of it. What's going to happen with the kids? Well, that's going to be a little bit more complicated. I've done a reading on that. But trust in me, Meghan is not going to let her meal ticket, those kids. And yeah, I'm sorry for calling. No, listen, I'm a mom too, but I'm just talking how she sees it. Okay. She's not going to allow for those kids to go back and live with daddy in the UK. No way. No way. No, they're going to live in California, be raised by nannies that he pays for. And he would have to take his private jet and visit his kids. All right, let me see your questions real quick. Let me just take the ones that I've already highlighted. There are rumors Harry had an altercation about Prince Andrew 2013. Is it true? I heard something. I think I saw something online, but I wasn't that much online today. Really, I was just enjoying my garden and the pool and just meditating a lot today. So did Harry and one flipped over Temperance. I don't feel that they get along. Like as soon as I picked up the cards and asked the question, it doesn't feel like Prince Andrew and Harry got along even before, the Epstein stuff and the Meghan stuff. It doesn't seem, even though Harry used to be very close to Prince Andrew's daughters, but it doesn't feel like he was with his uncle. But then again, that could also be because King Charles, they never were close with Prince Andrew. They had some kind of rivalry, but again, there's the spare, there's the king, and there's the spare, right? So same kind of dynamic. There's Charles, who was heir to the throne. This was when Queen Elizabeth was still with us. And then there was Andrew, who was the spare. So Two spares fighting. So is it true? I have Temperance, middle, somewhere in the middle. The Truth somewhere in the middle. Well, the Temperance, this was the jumper card. Yeah, Five of Swords. Yep, they were fighting. Eight of Cups. One more. The Star. There was an altercation, yes, with the Five of Swords. I feel there was an altercation. But I don't know when this happened. Oh, you said 2013, but they moved on from that. So there's no bad blood, if you will, between them, but it's not like Harry is, or they're close. So yeah, but my cards are confirming there was an altercation between them. Okay, what is the future of Prince Andrew? Okay, let me get to Prince Andrew afterwards. Sorry, Ness, I'll highlight it. Do you think, because I want to stick to Meghan right now, and then we'll get to Harry, and then we'll get other questions. Do you think Meghan will go back to acting, or is it? It's a great question, Norma, because I was just asking myself this while I was getting ready for the live, and let me tell you what I heard. So I asked a lot of times while I'm prepping for lives. I also, like, while I'm wearing my makeup, while I'm putting my makeup on and stuff, it's like meditative for me, and I connect to my guides. So a lot of times I ask them questions before I even start doing these readings. And I asked that, and you know what I got? It is beneath her norm, unfortunately. Unfortunately, because there's nothing wrong with being an actor. There's nothing wrong with just having any type of job. You know, it's better to have a job than not have a job and having to do criminal stuff and illegal stuff. But no, she never wanted, like, once she met Prince Harry, it was like, I'm out of this. You know, I don't want to be an actress. I'll never go back to acting. But it doesn't mean that she wants to be out of the entertainment industry. I believe that she would act probably if she produced and directed her own movie. You know, if she would take authorship, to quote Blake Lively, okay? She would take authorship and she would act. But she's never going back to acting because she sees herself as this powerhouse woman entrepreneur that is I don't know, someone who's very influential to people, to the world, and the world needs Meghan, Queen Meghan. So no, I don't ever see her going back to acting whatsoever. Will we ever see the bully report? I'll ask the cards, but I don't think we will. I don't think we will. I believe the Queen back then, she didn't, because listen, the Queen, even though I don't think she liked Meghan very much, especially towards the end, especially after Megxit. But the Queen would never do anything. You know, it was always like never complain. What's the thing? Never something. I'm glitching today. There's that saying that the Queen would say, never complain, never something. But anyways, the Queen would never humiliate, and this is not her, but she wouldn't humiliate Harry. So I feel that she asked them to seal the report and for it never to be leaked, published. But let me ask. No, look, Eight of Swords, something that's bound. No, we're not going to see the bully report. Ten of Pentacles. This could be like, this is Windsor as well. Behind the gates. We're never gonna see it or find out what's in that report. Let me see. I hope I'm not missing questions here. Will Meghan try and get full custody of the kids? Good question. I believe I did a reading. Someone asked me, this was like a year, 2 years ago, about this. I don't remember what came up. I don't think so. Intuitively, I will say I don't think so, but let me ask the cards. So will Meghan try and get full? Will Meghan try to get full custody of the kids? There's such a disconnect between her and the children. I'm sorry to say that. At first, yes, because alimony, you know. And then I have the 5 of Cups. I'm worried about those kids. And when I mean I'm worried, I want to say I'm more concerned about their mental health and about whether they're getting enough attention, enough affection, enough, love and security, not in the sense of like bodyguards and money, but security from their own parents. I feel they're lacking all that. And I've said this before, and I don't care, I'll say it again. Even though I do pick up Archie's energy, I don't with Lily. With Lily, something's off with Lily. I'm not saying she doesn't exist. I'm not saying all that. Maybe I am. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying I do not pick up that little girl's energy. Even if now someone asked me, and I don't read kids, but if someone asked me sort of like, I don't know, like how close is Meghan to Lily? Okay, I would have to connect to both Meghan's and Lily's energy, and I can't with Lily. I just can't. It's a fact. And then I have the Ace of Swords. She's going to fight tooth and nail to have and get full custody of those kids. 100%. Pink Diamond. 100%. With this King of Wands as well. She's a fire sign. She's a Leo. But in this case, she comes up. She usually comes up as the Strength card or the Queen of Wands. The Devil, a lot of times, no joke, she does. But in this question, in this reading, she comes up as the King of Wands. So more of this masculine energy, which just shows you she has no maternal bone in her body. My opinion, this is my opinion as an energy reader who reads energy, okay? That's why she comes up for this question related to the kids as the King of Wands and not the Queen of Wands. Just want to make that clear. Let me see. Casey, do Meghan or Harry regret anything they have said or done since Megxit? Let me focus on this. Let me see what I get. I'll shuffle and then I will connect. Meghan, no. She actually regrets not doing more. She actually regrets not doing things differently in her mind, differently. But I would say she regrets not being, the bull that enters the arena, and they just like, bring that bull energy and destroy everything in their path and show their power, right? She regrets that. Now, as I'm connecting to Harry, poor Harry. I mean, listen, he kind of like deserved what he got. He should have listened to the advice that his brother and his father and everyone around him gave him. Partly not his fault. I tell you, I do believe that woman put a spell on him. She did. She put a spell on him before they got married in order for her to entrap him, if you will, and get him to marry her. But when I look, he's such a sad man. He's just a shell of himself. He's going through some kind of health issue right now. He looks very gray and he's lost quite a bit of weight. So I don't know what's going on. I'm hearing he's anemic. He's anemic. So he might not be eating well, or maybe he's drinking. I see him drinking a lot of beer. He likes his beer, his pints. But Harry, if he regrets it, Harry is just so lost. I don't think he hasn't, as weird as this sounds, it even feels weird for me connecting to him, but he hasn't had that conversation with himself. He hasn't sat down and said, I should have done things differently, or I shouldn't have done that, or I should have been there, or I shouldn't have done the Oprah interview while my grandfather was on his deathbed. He doesn't. He doesn't think about these things. It's almost like it's like he's under her spell. It's whatever she says. If she's okay with it, he's okay with it. If she's angry, he's angry. If she's happy with the outcome of something, he's happy with the outcome of something. I'm not saying that he doesn't get annoyed by her sometimes, but honestly, to answer your question, he doesn't regret anything because he hasn't had this conversation with himself. He hasn't reflected on all this, which I find it weird. Weird. His father is dying of cancer. We have to say it as it is. King Charles is dying of cancer. Something I predicted way before we found out about his health and cancer, that he was going to go, and by early 2026, unfortunately, he'll be out. And Harry hasn't even reflected on these things. To me, wow, it's sad. I feel sad for this guy. He's like, how can I explain it? Connecting to his energy, like I connect to his energy, right? A lot of times I can feel what they're feeling. I see where they are right now in their life. I can even remote view and see where they are right now, what they're doing. And I connect, and I just see this very thin, lanky, like gray, like his skin's gone gray, like no energy, just like he's a shell of himself. And it's so sad. So sad. The problem is that he doesn't see that about himself. He does not see that. Maybe because he's surrounded by his wife, who probably tells him, Harry, you look amazing. You're great. You're this, you're that, because she doesn't want him to see that about himself. She wants to keep him on that energy frequency, if you will. And he's probably surrounded by, he doesn't have his family anymore around him. So he's probably surrounded by yes men because he's Prince Harry, which is sad. When do I see divorce happening? Well, they're separated. Okay. The divorce, like signing, because it's going to be very complicated, because she's not going to go down without screaming and fighting and getting what she wants. It's going to take months until it all gets finalized. I said it. But 2026, we will find out about it. It was supposed to be end of 2024, because that's what I got last year. But I believe 2024 is when they completely separated. So they're off doing their own thing and just get together for the kids and, for to play charades, just to play. It's just like an act. So I want to say 2026. Pretty much, let me say it differently. After King Charles passes, we will hear of the divorce. We will find out of the divorce. So it's going to be around the time King Charles passes. Oh, so many questions. Okay, we're going to do it in 2 parts, Light Mission. Oprah is very diplomatic. That's what I'm going to say. Meaning, like, she's not going to show Meghan, or she's never going to say anything negative about Meghan to other people or publicly. And she's certainly not pursuing to spend more time or spend time with Meghan, the magician. Funny when I read Oprah that I get the magician. We need an Oprah reading, I promise you. The wheel. Things have changed. Hey, things have changed. That was a woodpecker laugh. I'm sorry. Four of Cups. Oprah not happy with Meghan. They're not besties. They never were, by the way. They're not besties. They're not friends. They're acquaintances. And right now, neither of them have anything to gain from this relationship. So it's a little bit on ice. A little bit on ice. Nine of Wands. Oprah has backed off, has distanced herself from Meghan because she doesn't want all that bad negative publicity and comments and all of that to rub off on Oprah. So she's like stepping back. They're not friends. They weren't friends. And Oprah doesn't care about Meghan. That's the truth. That's the truth. What happened between Jessica Mulroney and Meghan? Meghan just, I'm sorry, but this is what she does. History repeats itself over and over and over again when it comes to Meghan. When she creates these friendships, she attaches herself to these women or men. What's the guy that was her bestie before she got married? I forgot. See, this is how I'm not bothered about Meghan and Harry anymore. I even forgot what something, and not Anthony, Mark. Whatever, she had a bestie. Anyways, who was always by her side. He was always by her side. He's the guy who connected her to Soho House because he was like a Soho House like manager or something, like director or something like that. This is what she does. She latches on and she attaches herself onto people that she believes they have something that she needs, okay, or they can help her. And then once she gets what she needs, she moves on to the next one. I mean, with Jessica Mulroney is that, but what I am getting is Meghan did not like Jessica's husband. I know they just announced their divorce, but it had to do with a husband. I don't believe that Meghan liked the husband because the husband did not like Meghan, and he did not like Jessica being around Meghan. I'm picking up the Mulroney. Jessica Mulroney's husband is quite intuitive as well. I don't know. He must be a water sign. So what happened between Jessica and Meghan? What happened between Jessica and Meghan? What happened to her other besties? You know, I mean, we saw that. Hold on. Is Meghan the godmother of one of Jessica's children? Does anybody know? Or is Jessica a godmother to one of Meghan's children? Which way is it? This is what I'm getting as well. Knight of Swords, Two of Pentacles. I'm telling you, Two of Pentacles. I got what I wanted. The scales have tipped. All right. You're getting divorced from this rich guy. You know, I got what I wanted. Thank you very much, Jessica. I'm too busy right now being a mom. Page of Pentacles. I believe also they had disagreements, or they don't, or Jessica doesn't trust her because of some kind of like, maybe they were working. It feels like they were working on, not now. A few years ago, they were working on some kind of project or business together that we don't know of, right? We haven't heard of, but they were working on, and it went south. It went south. Page of Pentacles here, because I do see Jessica investing some money. A Knight of Swords, yeah. Meghan just switched on her just like that wheel and everything changed. Yeah, Meghan is just like, Jessica, I'm good. I've got a new bestie now, or I have new besties. I don't need you. This is what happened. And I feel that Jessica's husband, never liked Meghan, and Meghan knows and knew. So there was a lot of push and pull, Jessica sort of had to be in the middle, especially. Marcus Anderson, thank you. I wanted to say Mark Anthony, like Julius Caesar, who knows, like what was going on in my head. Thank you, Marcus Anderson, that's his name. Jeez Louise. Don't stay in the sun for too long in Greece, because you're gonna burn some brain cells. Yeah, she's an opportunist, absolutely. Meghan is the godmother of Jessica's daughter. Yeah, what a shame! What a shame! Because another thing, the reason why I was picking up the godmother thing, because I felt I was feeling a disappointment, maybe Jessica's disappointment in how, and maybe that Meghan is not taking over like godmother duties, or is not a good godmother. Like she doesn't like she may courier or FedEx presents to the kids, never visits. It just feels like a huge disconnect there. Huge disconnect. Just Meghan just, gave her the cold shoulder. Yeah, Jessica's. If I remember correctly, I believe that Archie had quite a few godparents. It wasn't just like one or two like us normal plebs have. I think they had 4 or 5. Elton John, wasn't Elton John one of them? Elton John was one of Archie's. Yeah, Elton John was one of them. You'll think? You'll think? Social climber? Okay. Okay. Let's get to Harry real quick. I picked up already on Harry's energy. Drop me your questions on Harry. Drop me your questions on Harry, and then we'll get to Nessa's question, which I'm going to leave for last, which is on Prince Andrew. God, it's hot. Sorry for fiddling with my hair, but you can see it's getting hot. Hold on, let me bring the fan. Okay, I hope the mic doesn't pick up the fan. Let me know if it does. And then for you guys, since everything is working today, I'll just sweat. I'll just switch it off and sweat, and you can see me sweat if this is interfering with the mic. Okay. Let me do a little cleanse. I'll ask a question about Harry. You know what I got? I also forgot. I got this yesterday. Or was it this morning? And now it came back to me. Let me tell you what I got about Harry, everybody. And I'm going to pull the cards to prove it. Oh, I hate when that happens. Sorry, give me a second. I want to, when you burned off your smudge stick, that it just doesn't light up as easily. Bear with me. We need a little cleanse here from Meghan's energy. All right, so let me tell you what I got, okay? And it came back to me today. Last time I read Harry, if you remember, I read on his future wife. I posted it on TikTok, and you guys, people went crazy. They were attacking me. They were being so mean to me. I had to put the video down because I was like, okay, this is ridiculous now. I mean, why are people so taking things so personally? Anyways, on his future wife, interesting, because he is going to remarry, and next time round, she's not a royal or some kind of like, from aristocracy. I believe she comes from money, but she's not, a blue blood or royal blood, the future wife. But what's interesting is she's blonde. We know he has a thing for blondes. Now, Meghan was an exception. Um, and I saw him happy. I saw him happy. I saw him happy with this woman because this woman is more like, yeah, but I'm not going to compare, but she gives me more Kate vibes, meaning someone who complies and likes, um, you know, uh, taking on royal duties and enjoys being around the royal family. So that's good. But I've been getting for a while now that Harry is seeing someone. And this is not just a fling, it's not a sexual thing, okay? This is more of an emotional thing. He has an emotional attachment to someone. So let's think about that. Wait, I'm going to ask the cards for you. What can you tell me about Harry's emotional world, or romantic, or romance? He's romantically involved with someone. Yep. But let's see what the cards say. Well, the cards are not showing me this other lady, but the cards are definitely speaking right now because I'm telling you, I'm very connected to his energy. King of Swords. Well, he's working on himself. I told you he's a shell, but he's working on, when I mean on himself, not psychologically, but it seems like he's working on finding the courage, if you will, to pack up. These are burdens, by the way. He feels very burdened. It's just his energy so heavy. Three of Swords, very heartbroken, very disappointed. Meghan, his marriage, it's the moving, living in California. Look at Six of Swords. Six of Swords is the transit card. He is preparing to move. And I feel that woman is in the UK, by the way. This could be, I don't know for sure. I'm not getting that information yet. This woman could also be his future wife, the one he's seeing now, the one he's having this emotional affair with. But he's getting guys ready to move to UK. But when I mean move, like he's going to go to the UK, stay a month, go back, keeps doing this. And then just the time he spends in the UK, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So he's going to stay more and more there. That marriage with Meghan is over, everybody. It's over. It's done. He's slowly but gradually going to make himself Queen of Wands. There she is. Didn't I tell you Meghan comes up as the Queen of Wands? But interestingly enough, because this is not about Meghan, this is about Harry. This Queen of Wands, so this is a fire sign woman, is the woman I'm seeing and I'm talking about. I'm seeing with Harry, Queen of Wands. This is the good Queen of Wands. Love that. Fiery. He needs that. He's a Virgo. Four of Pentacles. You guys, he's doing is he's in talks. He is talking to people. He is finding ways of relocating back to the UK. It will take a while, but the wheels are in motion. It's starting. It's happening. Maybe the incentive here is also this woman. This woman that I see. So I'm actually relieved to see that. I'm actually relieved to see this for Harry. He's not a bad guy. He just got himself in trouble, unfortunately, and he's lost his way. So I hope by coming back to the UK, being surrounded by his family and loved ones, that he will be able to find himself, heal from this mother wound. This mother, she She ripped open that mother wound of his. She ripped it wide open. That's why he's a shell of himself. She knows exactly what she's doing to him. So he needs to come back. He needs to come back. Let me see your questions. Yeah, I actually answered that, Savannah, I didn't even know you asked me that. Say he will, she might be an athlete or more normal. Yeah, she will definitely be more normal, down to earth. Again, she's not going to be like a royal or a blue blood, but someone who is comfortable in those circles. Someone who fits in very well. I see her again, she's blonde. So, and he'll be much happy. He will find happiness with that woman. Yes, with his future wife. Godmothers aren't staying so these days. It seems Taylor still Blake's. Oh, good question. But this is what happens with these celebrities. Good point. Look at Blake. But Blake Lively, again, Blake Lively, Meghan, Amber, they have a lot of things in common. They have a lot of things in common, whether we like it or not, they do. Okay. Viber women. Not Viber, like Viper. Why did I even see Viber? Will have more kids. Will he happy? I do see one more, by the way. I do see one more. So I believe they're going to have one with a future wife, and it's going to be a boy. Will Harry remarry? Okay, sorry, we answered that one. Thank you, Tracy, for reminding everybody to hit the like button. Everyone does. Everyone does. I feel so sorry for those kids too. I do. Will the people forgive and forget what Harry has done? From my previous readings, yes, but it will take time, especially the people in the UK. I believe that people will be more accepting of him once the divorce is done with and she's sort of out of the picture, or out of his life, let's say. Not out of the picture, out of his life. So, but it's going to take a lot of work. He needs to do a lot of work and prove to at least the British people that, he's back, he regrets things that he did and said, especially the way he treated his family and how he humiliated his family pretty much. So, yes, they will forgive him and accept him back, but he also needs to prove himself, and it's going to take a long time. And this is the people and the press as well, the British press, because the British press are done with him. Done with him being so litigious, with his temper tantrums, all of this stuff, right? So there's a lot of work ahead of him. We'll see any of the cousins, Eugenie, Beatrice, Zara, and Mike. I love Zara and Mike. They're my favorite royal couple, to be honest. I love William and Kate, but Zara and Mike are just so authentic, so fun. They don't have titles. They don't carry that weight of those titles. I love them. Will we see any of the cousins? I don't see them. I totally see, and I've seen this before in my readings, that you know how Charles always talks about slimming down the monarchy. Well, William will definitely slim it down. So I don't see any of the cousins becoming senior royals, especially Eugenie, Beatrice, Zara, and Mike Tyndall. No, that's not going to happen. Eventually, there will be years down the line, the royal family will be eradicated. There won't be a royal family. Things will change so much in the world that it feels like we're going to go back to the French Revolution, where the aristocrats, even the elites, the royals, they're all going to go into hiding because things are going to blow over. We're not talking about the next 3-4 years, but I believe a lot of us will experience this and see this happening. Can I ask a question about Kate at the end of hers hanging over? Yes, you can ask me now about Kate. Let's do Kate before I do Prince Andrew because I don't want Prince Andrew's energy, you know, trickling on to Kate's. So go ahead, ask me about Kate, but don't ask me about, okay, about her health. Don't ask the question. I'll give you what I know, what I'm picking up about her health. She will survive the cancer. I've said this all along. She will survive the cancer. She's not in danger of dying. Okay. Yes, I do pick up that her health is, the chemo did a number on her, like the all the cocktail medication, the chemo that she's taken really did a number on her health. White blood cells super low, I'm seeing. She's still not eating, like she has digestion issues and still has issues with food and eating because of the cancer and the chemo. That's, yeah, there some days are better than others. There are days where she can hardly get out of bed, like she's super weak, and there are days where she feels, this is really weird. So I will try to explain to you as best as I can how it feels like. So I feel like Kate right now, and I feel like it's like I have a mix of, let's say, Lyme disease and MS. This is how it feels. So there are days where she feels stronger and good and positive, and there are days where she's weak. She can't think straight. She can't walk straight. She can't really eat. So yeah, it's ups and downs, ups and downs. It's gonna take a while until she gets her strength back. There was some kind of allergic reaction to something that was in one of those cocktails, like chemo cocktails. Because what's chemo? They give you like a mixture of different, very, very powerful drugs, pretty much. And she had some kind of allergic reaction to it, and it really messed her up. It's like it regressed her health. This is what I'm getting. But she's surviving this. She's not going anywhere. She has a lot of support around her. I'm also getting that Prince William is depressed. He's seeing some kind of therapist. See, Meghan, they do have therapists. Royals do go to therapists. They do have access to therapists, Meghan. But he's struggling a little bit with his mental health. It's everything. It's the pressure that's on him. It's his wife getting sick and seeing his wife that way. His father's sick. The Prince Andrew stuff we'll get to, Ness's question. So it's they're doing the best that they can, the Waleses, but it's tough. They're still human beings, even though they're royals. They're human beings. They go through things that we go through as well, especially when it comes to health and psychologically. So yeah. You know what, Norma? I don't connect to Prince. So many people have told me, do channel Princess Diana, do your reading. I refuse to. Why? Because when I did years ago try to connect with her, I just felt how so many mediums and psychics out there, they're all pulling her from different directions. And she's like, we need to let her be, like she's not at peace right now. She hasn't been in several years. And no, she does not, like, I get that, like Meghan, she knew exactly what when I mean she doesn't like her, she accepts that this is like her son's destiny. This is like part of his journey, part of his soul evolution and learning. But I don't connect to her. I just leave her alone. I do. I just do, because and some psychic mediums are not very respectful. So even though they may see a block, or they at first they might find hard to connect, they keep going, keep going, keep going, and they pull her in. So for that reason, I don't, unless what happened with Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston, for instance. So what I do is I put out that intention, right? So I'm like, I would like to connect to Michael Jackson. um will Michael, will you come connect with me, or will you channel through me? Because I want to ask you some questions and I want to connect to you. So I put that intention, and then I just let it go. And I do this without having in mind of coming onto YouTube and doing it the next day, for instance, right? So I set that intention and I let them be. If they come to me, and this is what happened with Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson, they came to me, they literally appeared in front of me like a hologram. They approached me and they started connecting with me, and I started getting so much. I was getting downloads, right? So then I know that they're ready, or they're willing to connect with me and to use me as a conduit. So then, I set up a reading, or I do a live, or, I record a video. With Princess Diana, tried a couple of times in the past. I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything. So I'm like, I'll leave her alone. I'll leave her alone. And I wish the other psychic mediums did as well. Everyone is just, everyone wants to know who killed you. Like, what do you think of Meghan? What do you think of her? It's just a lot for her. Listen, they're like any normal, they've been together for so long. They're like any other normal couple. They bicker, they disagree. They have days where they huff and puff and they don't want to see each other. And one goes in one room and the other one goes to the right wing and the other one goes in the left wing, but I feel that Kate gets annoyed with William a lot of times, like, she wants to, she's like holding it together, because sometimes William can be a lot. So I see that. Um, William is moody. He's a Cancer, so no surprise there. And emotional, but I don't pick anything negative. I mean, they have like the normal stuff that any couple does. They have the ups and downs. There are times when they just don't get along and they're not really seeing eye to eye. They don't communicate well. And there are times, but at their core, they're solid. Like at their core, they have each other's backs. Even when they don't really like each other, there are times when they don't really like each other. And when you've been married with someone for so long, that's what happens. That's what happens, you know? So their marriage is solid and is good. And I don't care what other psychics that are maybe pro Meghan, or, like against the Waleses say, or what people say, that, they're going to get divorced and William cheats and is cheating on her and blah, blah, blah. Maybe he is. Who knows? Maybe he is cheating on his wife. Maybe he is. So many other men, like normal men, do this to their wives. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that even if that was true, they're solid. They're not getting divorced. They love their children. They love what they're doing. They respect each other. They know each other. They're like, listen, they have more of the sibling energy now. They've gotten to that point where it's like more, I know it sounds weird, but sort of like a sibling, but they are there for each other. They're solid, so their marriage is okay. All right, so I'm going to take two more questions. So there's one on Prince Andrew and Paulette. I answered that, like, were the infidelities rumored? No, I don't. And I've read this before on Rose Hanbury. That rumor that was going around, which was leaked by the other side, is not true. He wasn't having an affair with her. Now, whether he has had in the past affairs, flings, or slept with other women, maybe. King Charles did, right? He was sleeping and seeing Camilla while he was married to Diana and God knows who else, right? Maybe, but not the one with the rose Hanbury. Okay, 2 more questions. So there's one from Casey and one from Ness, who has been very, very patient and waiting on her question. Will Prince Andrew face more punishment due to the recent Jay and Maxwell conversation? No one's touching Prince Andrew. No one's touching Prince Andrew, you guys. Will Prince Andrew face more punishment? Are there any consequences that Prince Andrew is going to face? I'm rephrasing the question because I like open-ended question. Wheel jumped out. The Fool, Knight of Wands. Prince Andrew's going to get away with it because people are going to be. Virginia is unfortunately now deceased, so he doesn't have his nemesis, against. And I believe because when those lists come out, and they will, go watch my Jeffrey Epstein reading if you want to know what's going to happen and why they moved Ghislaine to a low security, I was going to say hospital, prison. Interesting, right? But go watch my reading. It's all going to make sense to you. But back to this, no, they're bigger fish to fry, and he's protected. So no, he's not. Prince Andrew is not going to get punished in the sense of, being jailed or being ridiculed. I mean, he has been ridiculed and humiliated anyways, but they're bigger fish. They're bigger fish. Not that he isn't, but they're bigger fish, like more shocking names and things that are going to come out. All right. So last question is Ness's question, because we're almost at 2 hours, and as you guys know, I'm always also being considerate of the replay crew because 2 hours might be too long for them. So what is the future of Prince Andrew? Will he lose his bid for the Royal Lodge? Will the Epstein stuff? Oh, there's the question. In the news too soon. Will he? Okay, let me ask about the Royal Lodge because I didn't answer that. But I'll also pull a few cards about his future. So, show me Prince Andrew future. Okay. Knight of Swords, Two of Pentacles. I keep seeing him moving. Moving. I see him in 2 places. So, and he does this on the down low, if you will. He's also somewhere. He must have a house somewhere, some kind of island, not Jeffrey Epstein's island. The irony, right? No, I don't know if it's in Spain, south of France, but he spends his time, so he's like back and forth UK and this place, and he will eventually move there permanently. This is what I see. Regarding the Royal Lodge, yes, he will lose his bid. And the Emperor here, yeah, he listen, in his own mind, he's got quite an ego himself, Prince Andrew, and I see him moving to this it's a foreign country, right? And wherever he's going to be, he's going, because I see his daughters also going, and the grandkids. Like, it's like he's making like a new life for himself and creating sort of like a community where like friends will be visiting. He will have, like, he will be his own emperor there. He will be untouched. He'll be forgotten. He'll be out of the public eye. He's gonna do he likes trading, by the way. Um, he likes trading. So he's gonna do all the stuff that he enjoys. Like, unlike his dad, who likes gardening and being in nature, and his dad's a little bit more earthy. He's more about money, 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 money. Prince Andrew is like more, 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 greedy, greedy. Give me more money, money, money. This is what I get. So yeah, he's moving out of the UK eventually. And he's going to keep a low profile. He's going to be on the down low. And I'm telling you, yeah, things are going to come out, but no one's going to be shocked anymore when the Epstein stuff is eventually going to come out. No one's going to be shocked about Andrew, because everyone's going to say, well, Virginia was right, right? Yes, she was right. And the poor woman lost her life because of the negativity and the toxicity and the war out there, the war against these victims. Stop already. I'm fed up with all this dark stuff coming up. So that's what I see about Prince Andrew. They don't get along, the two brothers. They don't get along. So these give it to him. Yeah, he's a greedy, egotistical a-hole. That's what he is. All right, you guys, that's it for today, this beautiful Sunday. I hope everyone's good. Everybody, wish Norma a happy birthday, because yesterday our Leo Queen had her solar return. So everybody, drop a happy birthday to Norma, to beautiful Norma. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. If you're new, hey, nice to meet you. Subscribe and do like this video, and also follow me on social media. And before you go, just a quick reminder, book your readings now. Even though I'm not doing readings right now because I'm on my summer break, make sure you book your readings October, November, because I have limited slots, especially in October. And those are the busiest months, October, November, December, because everyone wants their year ahead readings. And those, if you want to have one reading with me, all right, have that one. That one and the past life one, those two. Why? I mean, if you can't afford, or you just don't want to have too many readings, the year ahead is going to give you a very detailed insight of what's to come next year, month to month, looking at your finances, love life, career, all of it, and your past life, because it can be healing, and it can also answer a lot of questions to you about certain things that you're going through in this lifetime. A lot of people enjoy those past life. When I first, announced that I was doing this past life readings, I said it was limited, because I didn't think that many people, because everyone loves the psychic readings, right? Or the mediumship readings, because they connect with deceased loved ones. And I didn't think that many people would be that interested. And let me tell you, everyone loves them. So if you want to book a reading, that's the way. You only do it via my website. You use the booking form to do that on femtarot.com. Also, since you're there, go take a look. I have my crystals on there, the luminary shop. The merch is also connected to my website, and some courses. And also, I'll be uploading some really useful and amazing meditations for all of you. I'm going to create a series of 5-minute meditations. This is for all of you who have a hard time meditating. I was one of you once upon a time, because I have very busy mind. I have Virgo rising, for those of you who know astrology. So my mind never shuts down or shuts up. And so I had to teach myself how to quieten my mind and meditate. And now it's very easy. I meditate wherever I am. I can meditate, but I'm going to create these 5-minute meditations for those of you who find it hard to to go into meditative state and stay there. These 5 minutes are all you need, and they're super useful and very, very healing. So the first one's going to come, I'm going to upload, is healing your inner child. Okay. I was recording this meditation. I wrote the meditation, I recorded it. While I was editing, I was crying. I was just by, and I hate the sound of my own voice, but just it was so powerful that I was just connecting to my inner child, and I started crying doing it. It took me 3 days. I still have a couple of little tweaks that I want to do, but I'll upload it on my website for you guys to download for very, very little money. It's just going to be, I don't know, like €2 or €3 or bucks or something like that. All right, that's it for today, everybody. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon or your Sunday evening, and I'll be seeing you next week. Lots of love, everybody. Take care. Bye.